This next view coming to us from Ghost_AnonYMS, talking specifically about rat poison being toxic, which is one of Chucky's best add-ons. Ghost has been trying to get back into the YouTube content creation deal, so it mean very, very much a lot to me. Ghost is a good friend to me. For you to hit that link that I showed in the Twitch chat above my head, if this makes it to YouTube, in the description below. Like and subscribe, because they worked hard on their stuff and they're trying to get to it. So I very much appreciate that. If you don't do that, you know what? I hate you. I think you're stinky. I hope you step on a Lego. I hope your shoes keep coming up untied. I hope that you don't have enough change to pay for that soda that you wanted from the vending machine. Yeah, they're talking about rat poison, which is the aura reading add-on for Chucky, which is really, really, really strong. And they're saying it's outright toxic. Probably a very, very interesting take, but let's see what they have to say about it.
Why does Chucky suck so much to play against? Let's talk about it.
I wish I was that handsome. God damn. Whew. Whew.
So Chucky's been around for about 7 months now, and I've been playing him ever since the PTB. And despite getting a change every single patch since release, yeah, that's right, he's gotten a change every single patch since his release for 7 months now. People still complain about
the Xenomorph.
A lot of people say that he's super easy to use. A lot of other people say that his dash is impossible to dodge. I can assure you that both are not true, but I think there's a reason.
It's kind of like the scamper thing was like the way that Chucky was actually very, very like easy, autopilot-y, and unfair. But that's gone now. You can only scamper after starting a slice and dice. So like the biggest aspect of his kind of like autopilot unfairness is gone. So it's really hard to stand on that leg these days and say that Chucky's really unfair and unfun to face when his biggest aspect that created that is now. Wait, why did you move yourself? You were fine over there. Why'd you move yourself over here? Now I gotta move.
And why people believe that. Chances are, if you've seen a content creator showcasing the lethality of Chucky, they're using this one thing. If you've seen people just try out Chucky for the first time and have amazing results immediately, chances are they slapped on this one thing. And that's his add-on rat poison.
A little bit opinionated here.
Oh no, I was trying to poke you. Why did you move?
Like, I feel like this takes whatever little play there is around Chucky and kind of makes it impossible. Because I feel like there's no real mind gaming it. Like, no matter what they do, you can just see exactly what they're doing and react to it, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna see, like,
and I think this is really important too, because like essentially with the slice and dice, especially around a lot of like like Hug Tech is gone for Blight, but essentially you get to apply the Hug Tech as Chucky just in like one go, right? So getting that Orienting on top of it and be able just to very accurately do that is really strong. You Lil Wazino's a ban again. He's up with you guys. You guys can take care of him unless you don't want to. Okay, I'll take him back. Since y'all didn't want him, come here. Don't let them talk to you though. I like you. I just thought I was like, you know, leaving you with grandma for them. They didn't want
play a lot, like a lot.
So what rat poison does, for those that might not be aware, is it's a green add-on available to Chucky. What it does is when he initiates a slice and dice, which is his dash move while in hidey ho, it allows him to see all survivors' auras within 16 meters, acting as a small nowhere to hide that's available anytime he activates his powers. So why is this exactly unhealthy, and why do I think it's the core problem of why people don't like going against Chucky? Well, first off, with rat poison, you get a guaranteed value without any input. You don't have to do anything. In fact, you can up your slice and dice, and guess what? You still get to see the auras.
Yeah, you still see them.
You get constant rewards all the time, every time. Games are based on rewarding good actions and punishing bad actions, and rat poison just flies in the face of that. It's just constant rewards the entire time. You get a reward, you get a reward, you get a reward. It's constant. It also removes the counterplay from a good survivor. Let's say you are a good survivor and you know the counterplay to Chucky's dash and you utilize it. If they just happen to have this one add-on, which is a green rarity, by the way, they get to see your aura and just negate whatever counterplay you tried to use. It completely removes any agency from the opposing side. And that's just really unfun and really frustrating to play against.
That's really funny because the Ghost is here to use rat poison.
You don't need to be good at Chucky to get good results. You can slap this one add-on and you don't need to practice his slice and dice or gain game sense about where survivors are going to go or how they're going to react to you. You just get the information for free. It's a free hit button. It's not even just chase that this one add-on is really skilled in and excels. It's outside of chase. It might.
I think it's interesting because, like, in other cases, stuff like this is mostly used as training wheels to learn the thing that they're talking about, right? Because, like, a great example is I'm all ears on Nurse. A lot of people recommend I'm all ears on Nurse when learning Nurse because when somebody, you know, is running behind a wall, because people have to loop non-conventionally against the Nurse, it's hard to figure out what they're doing behind that wall. So if they vault and they run behind a wall, I'm all ears will let you know what exactly they do and how they like to loop, since they have to loop unconventionally, and then you can react to that accordingly. But it's like training wheels. Eventually, you get a good sense of what they do from seeing it so many times, and you eventually wane off of blah 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 blah. I'm all ears, but this is like I'm all ears. You can get literally all the time, and it's always good and has no cooldown, which is like. Obviously extremely good, and you don't have to wane off of it. You could just stick with it forever.
Maybe even better.
Compound
let's
21 is
a
the green,
scenario.
right? On white.
Let's say that you're playing Chucky
already.
and you're out in the middle of nowhere. You're just in the middle of a field and you don't know where any of the survivors are. You don't know where to go. No problem. Just start a slice and dice. Just initiate it. One of two things is going to happen. One, you initiate the slice and dice and you immediately see a survivor's aura. Now you can initiate a chase that you wouldn't have been able to get otherwise unless you had good.
Is it 23? I thought it was 21.
And the other option is even if you don't see an aura, all that tells you is that there's no survivors in the area, and it tells you you need to go somewhere else. That's a lot of free information. That's pretty much nowhere to hide on command. Every 12 seconds. That's extremely powerful for a green level add-on.
No, it's not on.
Nowhere to Hide is amongst the top 10 used killer perks in the game. Having it be able to be used more often with less requirements is kind of insane. Now, I've been talking about this for a while online, and I've come across a lot of counter arguments about why rat poison is fine and should stay. And I just want to talk about those two because it's only fair.
Better Whispers?
A lot
That's
of
another
fans
great
of Chucky
example.
say that he's already received way too many nerfs. He's received a nerf, quote unquote, every single patch since release. That's a lot in 7 months. Now, I would argue, and many others such as Hens or even competitive players or just even experienced Chucky mains such as Ashlow or the fake Bennett will all argue that these aren't nerfs. Each one of these changes has actually been a crazy buff for the character. And all of them have been showing and showing.
But it's strength at the expense of ease, which is why people played Chucky. It's the same reason people played Skull Merchant. They didn't like playing Chucky because they liked playing Chucky. They liked being able to hit spacebar and just dumpster people for 0 effort. They played them because of the cheese, to enjoy the cheese, to shred that cheese all over people's faces and just make them eat it. That's why. That's why. I guarantee all these, my Adrianas, my Skull Merchants, I guarantee if she actually required a lot of mechanical input, something more like Singulated Xenomorph, I don't think people would play her. I feel like 90% of that player base would just die on the fucking spot. So then you would have Pixel, you'd have like Tyre, who's in here all the time. You have those people still playing her. But almost everybody would drop that character like a bad habit because the appeal is being able to do things with very little input and have it be good at the same time. That's why. So that's why a lot of people have turned on Chucky, is because they liked that they could just press spacebar and win for free. It was bogus. But people in this game like being able to succeed without having to input things to actually succeed. People like dumpstering people and bullying people. What they enjoy.
Showcasing. There's a myriad of videos explaining this. There's another complaint I often see is that Chucky just won't have enough good add-ons if rat poison's taken away, and this is far from the truth. Chucky has a myriad of good add-ons. I'd argue that he has more good add-ons than most killers. He's far from being another Pyramid Head that's locked into just 2 add-ons. He's got Jump Rope, which increases his distance.
TV builds
He's
are
got
hilarious.
the Automatic Screwdriver, which gives him lower recharge time. He's got Silk Pillowcase, which takes time to adjust, but actually can give you a really cool stealth build that lets you get closer to survivors than you would think. He's even got Hard Hat, which isn't completely terrible anymore and can help you get rid of pouts and if you have the right build. he's actually got quite a good add-on variety tied to him. Lastly, something I see a lot is that people say that rat poison is no different than Huntress Concoction. For those of you that don't know,
Huntress Concoction is a reward for a hit to help you get your second hit. It is a reward for doing something right initially, which is not Slice and Dice. Slice and Dice just goes burn.
Is an add-on for Huntress, and whenever you hit a survivor, you get to see auras, but there's a stark difference.
Yeah, it can
in order
be.
To use Huntress Concoction, you have to first secure a hit. You first have to be able to find the survivors and land a hit before you get any value. Rat poison is the exact opposite. It helps you find those survivors, and it almost nearly guarantees that you hit them. And it gives you all that value before any of that even happens. It gives you that value.
It's
and
a
then
hard
continues to give you value afterwards. Even if you down a survivor, it'll show you survivors in the area that might be lurking for a save. It's just way too much value for almost no effort. I believe that nobody is going to ever enjoy playing against this killer until this one add-on is changed. And I would argue that a lot of the frustrations people have had, be it with his cooldown or the manual window scamper we saw in the D&D PTB, weren't actually the major issues. I think it was this add-on that made him such a pain to play against. And I think if we even made some small change, such as making...
Why don't we give him nowhere to hide as an add-on for realsies? Realsies. Like, actually make it to where if you kick a gen, the next Slice and Dice reveals people around you. And that has counterplay because he kicks a gen, he suddenly enters hidey home mode out of nowhere. You're like, oh, he probably has the thing. I should probably scoot. That there's no reason to just kick a gen and automatically enter hidey home mode unless he's doing the nowhere to hide add-on. And it requires him to stop and, you know, progress the game in his favor. He has to do something, not just like, oh, I just...
Making it so the aura reading doesn't trigger until you actually get a hit in Slice and Dice and bring it in line with Huntress Concoction, will people enjoy playing against the killer again? Again, just to encapsulate, it removes skill requirements on the killer side, it dilutes any real counterplay from the survivor side, and it's way too much value for no effort. And I think it just needs to be adjusted, even minorly, and it'll still be quite usable. But yeah, if there's anything you've taken out of my video today, I want it to be a sense of positivity. And all that I ask that you do is you share that positivity with one other person today. It doesn't have to be anything big. Hold the door open for somebody. Tell them you like the color of their hair or eyes. It doesn't have to be anything big, just something small. And if you don't really know what to do with that positivity, go ahead and scamper over to that like button and
scamper over.
It'd be really appreciated.
What am I going under?
And other than that, thank you. I can't wait to see you in the fog.
Yeah, I feel like having some sort of input to have something happen, open your have something like that happen would be very, very good. I feel like that'd just be it would be an easy way to adjust the add-on as well. It's just it has something that requires it to proc. I like my idea of, obviously, since you compared it to nowhere to hide, just make it nowhere to hide add-on. There's plenty of perks that become add-ons. So just like have that be a thing. Just like I kick gen, and the next time, first instance of entering hidey home mode after kicking a gen, will reveal survivors around. Toxic Straw. I don't think they were okay. I feel like that's very much just like kind of like reading the title and not using the in the video, because what was said in the video is that people perceive rat poison as toxic, or as Chucky as toxic in general because of the use of rat poison, and explaining that there's like a rationale to like, okay, well, this is why this perk is unhealthy, and this is where people, that's why people are saying this is because of it, not necessarily oh well it just is toxic for surezies. But like people say this a lot, and this is why people say this a lot. Yeah, obviously the title is rat poison is toxic, but that's like a clickbait title to get you in. The actual video is an explanation of why people consider it toxic, even if it is not intrinsically so.